Now, because moving things from house to house in real life can be kind of exhausting and tedious, the best way to have fun while lugging a bunch of objects around would be to do it virtually. Now, fortunately, that's where my next guest and his devoted team behind the game Moving Out step in. Now, joining me to talk about the sequel to the 2020 co-op moving sim is senior game designer for SMG Studio, Dave Lockman. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, first off, how did you and your team manage to make moving so damn fun, and what can we expect to experience in Moving Out 2 that'll top its predecessor?
Well, with moving, we always thought that it was it's one of the most stressful things you can do. So we thought we'd make a game out of that and make it less stressful and more cathartic by just grabbing a couch and throwing it out the window and chucking televisions into a truck and breaking them and just generally just having fun. So with Moving Out, we wanted to expand on that and get really wacky and really expand on how silly we can be. And I think we've done that, and we've got really silly.
Yeah, that actually brings me to my next question. Like, I remember having so many chaotic moments with my friends and family playing the first game. It's the only way I can actually get them to help me move by playing a game. Now, what level of chaos did you all kind of like ramp it up to in Moving Out 2?
Well, in Moving Out 2, we've doubled the scope. So we've got twice as many levels, and by doing that, we've taken the Moving Out, the smooth movers group of movers into different dimensions. We started making this before the kind of multiverse craze happened, but now, so it wasn't, it was us just playing off that. So we've taken it to multiple dimensions and really kind of gone really silly with it. We've revealed the Packmore, we've revealed future. We've got 2 more dimensions to reveal, and they're really kind of out there. Instead of just staying in space and staying on Earth, we've gone to different dimensions, and we've got the players really moving and running around some exciting environments.
I mean, that's really awesome because, like, I mean, as you know, as the world knows, like, just like playing within the multiverse is like all the rage now. Like, a lot of people are doing it, so I'm glad that's like another. Y'all are pretty much heightening things with that. Now, the first game, it didn't have an online multiplayer component. I want to talk a little bit about multiplayer. So I know players had to use Parsec if they wanted to play online with friends. Is there like a new feature that maybe has that ability kind of built in, or will players have to use like a similar feature?
No, we've built the sequel from the ground up with online in mind. So we've got online out of the box. So players can play online with no third-party software or anything like that. And it's cross-platform as well. So you can, if you're on Xbox, you can play against PlayStation and vice versa. And we really wanted to bring online to the sequel because it was a big part of the first game that was missing. It was what players really wanted, and we spent a lot of time and a lot of development putting that in. So we're really proud to get that in and see players go online and play worldwide.
Well, Dave, you just made me and my mama very happy. I play with her all the time. So she's all the way in Chicago. I'm here in LA. So that's exciting to hear. Now, what I personally loved about Moving Out, the first game, was the unique and inclusive customization options. Will Moving Out 2 kind of like, I guess, expand on those features, and what can you tell us about some of the new features?
Yeah, absolutely. We've brought back the first cast of characters. So they're as soon as you boot up the game, you can play every single character that was in MO1, and then we've created a whole bunch of new characters. So there's a new cast. There's a new what we call Fab 5, which are the like poster 5 players. And throughout the game, you'll be able to unlock customizations and little trinkets and things that you can dress your players up with. And we've got, again, we've ramped up the silliness. So there's a lot of silly characters and silly things that you can play as, and we don't take ourselves seriously at all. So we just want people to have fun and be silly, and I think that's what we've done with the characters.
I mean, honestly, that's what it's all about. It's about being silly. So I appreciate that you all are even going even further with the silliness. Now, the first game, it did a great job of, allowing you to properly adjust the gameplay to kind of suit your play style and gaming level. What can you tell us about some of the accessibility features in Moving Out 2?
So we got a really good response from accessibility in Moving Out 1. So we've brought all of those same features back, and we've kept that in mind throughout designing every level. We've kept color blindness and difficulty levels. So we want to give players we want a wide range of players to play. So we want it to be a challenge, but we don't want it to be a blocker. So accessibility and just getting everybody in there having fun is big for us. So we've brought back all the accessibility features, but also this time around, we've designed the levels from the ground up with that in mind. So I think it's going to bring in even more players doing that kind of thing.
Now, we talked a lot about multiplayer. Sometimes my mom and my friends are not available to play with me, so I'm kind of curious, what's the single player experience like?
See, again, that was one thing in MO1. It was not an afterthought, but our focus was multiplayer, and our focus is multiplayer again for MO2. But again, we've kept it single player in mind, and there are a few things that you'd see in single player that you won't see in multiplayer, like different movables that won't work in single player in multiplayer that we designed specifically for single player. So it's a similar experience, but we've put a lot more development into helping the player have a bit more fun by themselves.
Well, I'm super excited for this, Dave. I'm also you're forcing me to make new friends because I want to play with more people, and more people need to kind of experience this. And so I'm super excited for this. Dave, thank you so much for telling us a little bit more about Moving Out 2. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us, and I hope everyone enjoys the game.
Yes. Now, I think it's safe to say we're all looking forward to Moving Out 2, but we got to keep it moving ourselves. More gaming goodness coming your way, so stick around.